Welcome to Bible Journaling 66 and our study in the book of Daniel, chapter 7. The book of Daniel is the key to understanding many other books in the Bible. Daniel begins by telling us the year that he received this vision, the first year of Belshazzar, which was approximately 540 BC. Notice that this vision occurred several years prior to the events recorded in chapters 5 and 6. Those chapters were primarily history. This chapter contains the first of the revelations that came directly to Daniel concerning prophetic events. Daniel sees four great beasts that come up from the sea. Chapter 2, Nebuchadnezzar's dream, views the world from man's perspective as a great shining image of man. In this vision, Daniel receives God's point of view, where the four kingdoms are pictured as fighting beasts. The first beast in his dream is a lion, the king of beasts. This one had wings, perhaps to denote swiftness in his conquests, and was given a man's heart, which indicates that he was a personal being, since it represented not only Babylon, but also the nation's leader. This corresponds to the head of gold. The second beast was like a bear, and it devoured much flesh. The bear's rising itself up on one side speaks of one of its sides being more dominant than the other, speaking of the Medo-Persian Empire, in which the Persian element was dominant. The three ribs in its mouth are three kingdoms that constituted this empire: Babylon, Lydia, and Egypt. Historically, this kingdom succeeded the Babylonian Empire when Darius the Mede, one of Cyrus's generals, conquered Babylon in 539 BC. The third empire was Greece, which in Nebuchadnezzar's dream was pictured as sides of brass. But in Daniel's dream, it was pictured as a leopard with four wings and four heads. The wings speak of swiftness in conquest, a character of Alexander the Great's military prowess. The four heads prophesy the fact that his empire would later be divided into four parts after his untimely death in 323 BC. The fourth beast was dreadful and terrible, and it had 10 horns and iron teeth. It corresponded to the legs of iron and the 10 toes in Nebuchadnezzar's dream, which was the Roman Empire. As Daniel was considering the horns, an 11th horn suddenly appeared and destroyed 3 of the original 10 horns, and then seemed to turn into an intelligent being with eyes and a mouth that spoke great things. The scene then turns to a scene of judgment. God is pictured on the throne in all wisdom, surrounded by countless angels, prepared to make judgment. The strange horn of the fourth beast apparently spoke reproachfully toward God and was cast into the fire. The other beasts had been conquered, but met the same demise. The vision ends with one like the Son of Man coming before the Ancient of Days to receive an eternal kingdom with those of all nations in his service. Here, the Old Testament clearly presents the Father and the Son as two separate persons within the Trinity. Daniel was troubled and puzzled by the vision, and an angel kindly obliged him by giving him the key to the vision, which is contained in verse 17. The four beasts stood for four kings, which represented four separate kingdoms. Note also the clear statement in verse 23 that the fourth beast is the fourth kingdom. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, and this will occur at the conclusion of the Battle of Armageddon, when Christ establishes his 1,000-year reign on the earth. You can refer to Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. Daniel's interest seems to be centered on the fourth beast, and especially on that horn with the eyes and the mouth that speaks. Verse 21 tells us that the horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. Many scholars point to Revelation chapter 13, verse 7, where it says, "And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them. And power was given to him over all kindred and tongues and nations." This was a reference to a character called the Antichrist. But the power of the horn was overcome by the Ancient of Days when he sat in judgment. This occurs after the tribulation, and may correspond with the judgment of the nations which is spoken of in Matthew chapter 25, the sheep and the goats. The fourth kingdom will devour the entire earth. The 10 horns are 10 kings. These 10 kings correspond to the 10 toes of Nebuchadnezzar's dream, and will be a confederation of nations or kingdoms. The little horn will take control of 3 of these nations, and the rest will fall in line to establish a one-world government. This one-world ruler will hate God and those that love God. He will persecute the believers for a time and times and the dividing of time. This is a foreshadowing of the final 3.5 years of the tribulation, which is the last half of Daniel's 70th week. Judgment will destroy this world ruler and his kingdom, and the Lord will finally sit on the throne of David and rule the world. Daniel ends this chapter stating that he was having trouble wrapping his head around this vision and kept silent about it. The study of prophecy is not for selfish gratification or idle curiosity. Rather, it is to transform the life of the believer. If you have not come to a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ, it's never too late. Ask God to reveal Himself to you as you read the Scriptures. Please like and subscribe, and drop a comment or ask a question. Next time, Chapter 8. Until then, Maranatha.